Distorted View Daily proudly presents great moments in customer service phone calls.
Thanks for calling technical support. My name is Mark. How are you doing today?
I am your worst nightmare. I am calling extension 3575 over and over and over and goddamn over again to reach Michelle, who said to call her there. She wants to talk to me. She's been dealing with my situation for 2 days now, and I've been on the phone for 3 hours trying to reach her, and every time I call that goddamn number, I get your department, and none of you know what the fuck I'm talking about. What kind of a goddamn situation is this?
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that, sir. Could I get the phone number on your account?
Why? The last two people that asked for the phone number put me on hold and never fucking came back.
The reason I get your phone number is so that I can pull up your account and see any notes in the system.
I don't see what good the notes are going to do. I need to be transferred to Michelle. If there's no Michelle, then you people are going to get sued. And not to mention, I might go ballistic and come over there with a machine gun. I don't have one, but I'll go try to acquire one. You don't do this to somebody. You don't do this to somebody. You didn't show up for your appointments yesterday. You didn't show up for your appointment today. And now you won't talk to me? That is fucked up. That is outrageous. You're contracted to help me. You have to. You have to. What the fuck is going on? Who is this Michelle, and why is she telling me to call her knowing that I can't reach her? And why does nobody there know who she is? This is all fucked up.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that, sir.
Put Mitch Watkins on the phone. Put that little slink on the phone. He supposedly know who she is.
Yeah, what I'd like to do is get your phone number so I could pull up your account.
Which is not supposed to be the goddamn fucking number anymore.
So that was... Okay, let me just pull that up, sir. And can I get the verbal password on the account, sir?
No, you may not. I will take that up with Michelle.
Okay, yeah, so can I get Michelle's extension again?
3575, and if you're going to transfer me there and have it put me back into the main system or the tech department, that is fucked up.
Okay, yeah, what I'd just like to do is transfer you to that extension. Would that be okay?
No, that would not be okay. You don't think I'm capable of dialing that extension over and over again? She left me a fucking voicemail that said, call that extension. If you don't reach me, dial 5050, and one of the representatives will get you to me. But the representatives have no fucking clue. What the fuck is going on?
Hey freaks, it's Friday, May 10th, 2019. Coming up on the program today, smelling Joe Biden's butt, plus Mushmouth radio host Jesse Lee Peterson meets his match. Your rideshare car is so dirty you might as well be Ubering a urinal, and a door-to-door meth maid service. All coming up today.
Mrs. Butterworth is twice as thick, and it's made with
horse urine.
It's called Distorted View Daily, and it will rape your mind!
Fuck you if you're not from Palm Beach County.
Okay, I love shit, man. I love shit.
It's the Distorted View Show with Tim Henson.
All right, hey freaks, Timothy James Henson back here with you one more time as we end the week with the Friday show. Got a great one for you today. Longtime listeners of the show know that I was friends with a notorious white terrorist. He wasn't a very good terrorist. He hated Jewish people, wanted to kill them, ended up shooting several Christians. Not a Jew was injured. I think that's the definition of a comedy of errors, right? It shouldn't be funny, but he bumbled so badly, you can't help but chuckle. Rest in peace, those who did die. It's even, tragically more funny because Glenn Miller went to a Jewish community center outside of a Jewish retirement home called Village Shalom. Not only were there Jewish people all around, they were slow-moving Jews, elderly people. Still, the 3 people that he shot ended up not being Jewish. This Glenn Miller guy is just kind of like a loser in every sense of the word. Even his timing was off. If he would have just waited another year and a half, Trump would have been president. All the anti-Semitic people came out of the woodwork then. Glenn Miller would have had a groundswelling of support. Before the shooting, he ran for Congress multiple times. He could be in office as we speak. If he would have waited a few years, if he would have just ran in 2016, he probably would have been elected into Congress. He is one of the less controversial candidates. With all the insane stuff Trump has said, it's almost like he was prepping us for Representative Glenn Miller.
Jews are the real supremacists. They proclaim they're God's chosen people. What could be more supremacist than that?
Yeah, Jews are kind of conceited, huh? Before Trump, that statement was outrageous. Now there's a growing number of people who stop and say, wait a second, this guy's onto something. Jews do think they're hot shit.
White men have become the biggest cowards ever to walk the earth, and the whole world knows it.
I'm white. I want to be strong. Tell me how, Glenn Miller. I bet you it's the Jews turning us all into pansies. They condition us to be weak, and then they trample all over us and grab for power. I'll tell you something. Jews will not replace us.
Hey, white man, 100 million more dark aliens are coming to America.
Again, a few years ago, people would just consider that statement to be racist. Dark aliens. Today, it could easily be justified. What Glenn Miller meant to say was, immigrants cross the border at night. It's dark, they're dark because there's no sun,
Since 1973, the government murdered 35 million white babies through abortion and replaced them with 60 million dark aliens who multiply like rats.
Didn't Georgia just pretty much outlaw abortions? And I know Ohio has stricter abortion laws, and there are some states where there are 3 abortion clinics for the entire state. Again, Glenn Miller was ahead of his time. The world is finally catching up to his views.
Another 100 million foreign mongrels are on the way. But you don't care, do you, Whitey? All you care about is satisfying your belly, pocketbook, and genitals and watching the coons play ball on television.
That's the one statement that could still probably get Glenn Miller in trouble, calling black people coons. I mean, if you're in a position of authority, you can beat the fuck out of a black person, but no name calling, please. This is America. Anyway, I really wasn't friends with Glenn Miller. Back when he was running for Congress, I interviewed him a couple times on the show. That was years before he actually shot anyone. I do have his electoral history here. Back in 1984, he was running for governor. There were 10 Democratic candidates. He came in 7th. Rufus L. Edmiston won with 295,000 votes, followed by H. Edward Knox with 249,000, and then all the way down, there's Fraser Glenn Miller with 5,000 votes, which is still too many. I mean, I realize it was the 80s, but come on, people. He ran again in 1986 for Senate, lost. Then there was almost a 20-year gap. That's when Glenn Miller ran for Missouri's 7th Congressional District and came in 4th out of 4 with a mind-blowing 23 votes. The last election he participated in, he was a write-in candidate for a United States Senator from Missouri, and he garnered 7 votes. I've got more fingers than he had votes. I so wish Glenn Miller wasn't behind bars. Believe me, he deserves to be behind bars. But, he would run again if he could. And I would just be curious to see how many votes he would get in this current political climate. In an alternate timeline, he could be the next U.S. president. There's a reason why I am reliving Glenn Miller and our history with him. DV listener Brian sent along an interview that Glenn Miller did with, of all people, my favorite radio show host, Jesse Lee Peterson. Oh, guys, it's going to be a meeting of the minds. Before I even get into the interview, though, you got to hear the start of the Jesse Lee Peterson show.
Never knows how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with. That's me. Well,
I am not an African American.
You're Oreo cookie, white in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro, I have an Amerifro.
I think Glenn Miller's going to get along just fine with Jesse Lee Peterson. The interview is 40 minutes long or something like that, so I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to play a few selections, but they do seem to hit it off.
It's talk, all the movies put out mainly by Jews. Jews control Hollywood, as we all know.
Yeah, we all know that.
Movies like Roots, A Time to Kill, Ghosts of Mississippi, Amistad, The Middle Passage.
Yeah, all the movies blacks like you might like.
There are countless movies, documentaries that teach black people to hate us. They show scenes, for example, in Amistad. I assume you watched that movie.
This is the real problem, according to Glenn Miller. Black people are taught, they're raised to hate whitey.
White men beating naked blacks who are chained. They're chained together naked, and white men are beating the hell out of them with whips. Women, too. Women are laying down in that movie, naked, being beaten by white men. One of them has a little baby in her arms.
Well, I don't know if the Jews own everything, but I do know.
Showing scenes like that.
Jesse Lee Peterson's pushing back a little.
To young, impressionable black people.
No, it's not good. I agree.
Now, wait, it actually teaches them to hate us.
Yes.
And the Jews do that deliberately.
Well, I don't know if the Jews doing it. I know that Hollywood...
Jews control the media. Come on now, Jess, let's be honest with
Hollywood definitely put out a lot of violent films. I don't even go watch the black films anymore because they're all about racism. And they're put out there just to get you angry in order to divide the races.
Eventually, Jesse just comes right out and asks Glenn Miller the question that, we all know the answer to.
Many people think that you are a racist. Are you a racist?
I think I am. I think everybody is.
And why are you?
Everybody is.
And
all blacks.
What is a racist, Glenn? What is a racist? You say you are. What is a racist?
One who prefers to...
I know for a fact that when Glenn Miller explains why he's a racist or what a racist means, Jesse Lee Peterson's going to be like, yeah, I'm like that too. Exactly. I'm with you.
Be among their own people and who has a desire to work for the interests of their own people.
Do you hate all black people?
I wouldn't say hate. I don't think white people are even capable of hatred much.
Earlier in the interview, I don't know if I played the clip, where he literally says 98% of black people hate white people, yet whites do not have the capacity to hate black people.
It's not in our temperament. The white people, what I tell them, we're easygoing, we forgive quickly, we take a lot of abuse before we stand up and fight back. That's the way white people are. And we all know that. All blacks know that, and all Hispanics and everybody else knows it the way that we are. We're easy targets.
So if you say you don't hate black people, but how can you be a racist if you don't hate?
Well,
good question, Jesse Lee.
I just love my own people far more than any other people. But you can call me, I'm not uncomfortable. If you want to call me a racist, feel perfectly free. I have a lot of hatred in me, too. I love to hate. Oh, I adore it.
And why is that?
I thought he just said white people don't hate.
Because if people who are not capable of hate are not capable of love.
Two sides of the same coin, or different sides of the same coin, whatever that saying is. I don't think Jesse Lee likes Glenn Miller as much as I thought he was going to. They're getting along, and Jesse Lee's like, I'm not black, I'm white. I didn't have black skin. But I honestly don't know what Jesse Lee Peterson thinks of Jewish people, but, Glenn Miller loves to talk about the Jews, and I don't think Jesse hates them as much as Glenn does.
That you can't possibly love them.
So, do you hate blacks, Hispanics, anybody other than white folks?
Do you hate Hispanics?
Well, I hate Jews.
There we go.
Most definitely. Compared to our Jewish problem, other problems are just plain distraction.
Yeah, he said that here on Distorted View as well. Jews are the number one problem. And he tried to do something about it.
The Jews
failed miserably because he's a goofball.
The biggest problem.
And what have the Jews done to you?
Tells the truth. Yeah. Louis Farrakhan tells the truth about the Jews. And I agree with him. He's my favorite black man, by the way.
But Louis Farrakhan would hate a person like you.
I don't think so. Not at all. Not at all.
But you're white. Louis Farrakhan don't like white people.
Wow. You stumped Glenn Miller. He eventually does say something. What does he say?
He understands and he preaches that it's not whitey's fault. The Jews call the shots, Jesse.
Let me take a break. 888-7.
He seems kind of exasperated with Glenn. As a matter of fact, later on in the interview, he takes phone calls and things just go completely off the rails.
Hold on, Glenn. Let's go out to Georgia, Atlanta, and talk to Mel. Mel, good morning. You're on with Glenn Miller.
Mr. Miller.
You.
I agree with you.
Oh.
I agree with everything you're saying about the Jews and about you want to be separate. Mr. Miller, Peterson, he hates his own people. He hates his own color.
So this caller is saying that Jesse Lee Peterson is the problem here. Because Jesse Lee Peterson hates his own people.
Color.
No color.
People. He hates us. How in the world can he tell you?
So now it's 2 against 1. Glenn Miller and this caller are teaming up against Jesse Lee.
Why do you...
About the Jews? And I believe what you said. The Jews do control this country.
The Jews! His voice gets so high.
Hey, Mel,
like you said.
The Jews!
That's a smart African-American.
They own the banks. They own Wall Street. They own everything in this country.
Is this a man or a woman? Is Mel... I can't quite tell what Mel is.
He's saying that...
Oh my God. He's stuck in a loop.
Man, he's your good friend.
Oh, Louis Farrakhan?
He thinks the same way like you do.
You talk about Farrakhan?
Yes.
Oh, Mel, let me ask you, you hate Jesus too?
We not talking like
What the hell that got to do with
You know what? They consider Jesus is a Jew.
The Jew! These voices are insane. You got Jesse Lee Peterson. Then you got this guy down like that. And then Glenn Miller, Jews are the real problem. What could be more supremacist than that? That's what I said! The Jews! There's nothing wrong with the Jews. The Jews! The Jews are the real problem. All right. Oh, my God. I got to hear that part where the collar is just, like, spinning his wheel. Like, like a chicken.
The Muslim.
A Muslim. All right, there you go. Some classic Jesse Lee Peterson and Glenn Miller. Ooh, a crossover. Let's move on. Speaking of ridiculous black men, Thursday Lane is back. He's getting a little political with his newest video. He's holding up a picture of Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Apparently, this is some election material from like 2008 or something.
I just want to let you know, and look at Obama, and look at Mr. Obama, and look at Joe Biden. To Joe Biden, I just want you to know, you are a beautiful silver kraut guppy. And if I was with you, I would suck your toes and smell your butt and lick your butt and make love with your eyes.
Well, Joe Biden got the very important Thursday Lane endorsement. I think we're looking at our next president here.
Maybe suck your penis.
Oh.
And Obama, you are a beautiful sweet potato pie cookie eye. I love your eyes. I will smell your butt, suck your toes, and you'll be a nice...
Why does Thursday Lane sniff after everything he says? Does he have a cold? Or has he been snorting coke? And also, I didn't think Thursday Lane was into black eyes. He's even got a name for him now. Sweet potato pies.
Suck your penis. And Obama, you are a beautiful sweet potato pie cookie eye. I love your eyes. I will smell your butt, suck your toes, and you'll be a nice...
I love your brown eye, your stink eye.
Barbecue butter cream sandwich when I smell your butt and lick your butt. And I will smell both of your underwears. For you, Mr. Steph Curry, if I was...
The basketball player?
With you, I will suck your toes. I wouldn't mind you getting all the attention, because I will always be happy to say, you go ahead, you have all the attention. Because let me tell you something, if I was with you, it would be like laying on a California king-size bed and having all the benefits. Let me tell y'all something. If I was with all three of y'all, I wouldn't mind being a hooker. I'll be a hooker. Okay. I'll be your kitchen hooker. I'll be your bedroom hooker.
What the hell? A kitchen hooker?
And I will always be rubbing y'all butt, and I'll always be sucking y'all toes. Like I said, I wouldn't mind being your male wife hooker. And y'all can keep me a secret if y'all want. I just want to let you know that the three of y'all guys are so cute. And and like I said...
Is he about to talk about what he's going to do to Donald Trump?
And like I said, I'll be eating your butt, sucking your toes, and kissing on y'all eyes. I just want to say that I have an eye fetish. I love rubbing my nose in a lot of people's eyes.
Jesus fucking Christ! That's probably the most disturbing thing I've heard Thursday Lane say, and that's quite an accomplishment. Who the hell would let Thursday Lane rub his nose up against their eyeballs? That's how you get pink eye.
Because eyes remind me of
especially with that runny nose.
They look like beautiful cookies that are alive that I love French kissing.
Okay.
But this is to y'all three guys. And one more thing, Donald Trump, I might not marry you, but I'll just suck you out. But I do love your body.
Okay, that's the most disturbing thing I've ever heard.
Suck your nipples, lick your butt, smell your butt and your toes. And Howard Stern, I just got a little crush on you.
He's not going to smell your ass, though,
Howard. What I would do is, like I said, since you worry about dildos a lot, I'll have my extra dick to give you a new walk for you.
Thursday Lane has 2 dicks. I'm more confused than ever. I wouldn't have it any other way. All right, and with that, let's get into the crazy, bizarre, twisted, and fucked up news right now. If you like the show, please consider supporting it. It's the only way this thing can continue. Become a true and honorable freak today at superfreaksideshow.com. When you become a member, you get full access to the entire archive of programs. Plus, every week we do exclusive shows. Yesterday, I did a great exclusive program. Tuesday, an even better exclusive show. I've just been really killing it lately. Go to superfreaksideshow.com. Memberships are very inexpensive, only $6.99 a month, even less when you opt for a quarterly, semi-annual, yearly, or lifetime membership. Remember, when you sign up, you get a username and password. You can download all of the exclusive content from the website, but you can also use most podcast apps. They work with, username and passwords. You plug that in, you get all of the free shows and all of the exclusive stuff on one convenient feed. It's pretty cool. Again, superfreaksideshow.com. There is another way to support the show monetarily. Patreon.com/distortedview. I'll be doing another personal podcast here next week. So if you've ever really wanted to get inside the mind of me, that's a little perk for patron members. Again, patreon.com/distortedview. Okay, 3 very quick stories now. First up, we got one from our most fucked up state. Say it with me.
Our most fucked up state.
A 33-year-old mother from Florida was arrested after her daughter showed up to school with a backpack filled with bugs. How does that even happen? The mother forgot to pack a lunch and the child's textbooks, but somehow hundreds of bugs found their way in. I've never had a bug crawl out of my book bag. Authorities say they conducted a welfare check at the home of Jessica Stevenson after her daughter came to school wearing dirty clothes and carrying a backpack that was infested with hundreds of bugs. When authorities arrived at her home in Milton, which is about 20 miles from Pensacola, that just sounds like a trashy part of Florida. I know nothing about Florida and, where the good places to live are. Pensacola just sounds like a trailer park. I don't know. They were shocked at what they saw. As they pulled up, they noticed bags of garbage strewn about the lawn, and some of the windows were broken. Inside the home, things just got worse. They found even more trash and an infestation of roaches. They said the woman's 5 children were forced to sleep on dirty mattresses that were all on the floor next to piles of cat feces. Oh, I lived in an apartment like that in my 20s. It was on the campus of Ohio State University. All right, when they searched Stevenson's bedroom, it was like they were in a different home. Yes, the mom's bedroom was immaculate, with fresh sheets and a closet full of clean clothes. For some reason, I'm getting flashes of Brandon's mom. You guys remember her? For those of you new listeners, Brandon was a listener of Distorted View Daily, and his mother was insane.
Just take every fucking thing you kids have away so you got nothing to fucking live around! I'm sick of cleaning up! make one fucking mess in this house, but the house is fucking clean, fucking dirty all the time. As your fucking plate, clean up your goddamn plate.
Brandon's mom is blowing out her lungs. She's all stressed out, screaming at her son. Brandon, can't you see she will kill your family? I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Brandon's mom. Brandon's mom is blowing out her lungs. Brandon's mom.
Yeah, I think about Brandon a lot. I wonder how he's doing. I don't think he's a listener anymore. He grew up. I mean, this was back in, 2010 or something, 2012? Anyway, so back to the story here. The mother's room was immaculate with fresh sheets. Meanwhile, the rest of the house was a disaster. The children were wallowing in filth. Authorities took custody of the 5 kids, who are between the ages of 5 and 14. I'm sure they were all covered in bug bites and feces. She was arrested and charged with 5 counts of child neglect without great bodily harm. She was released on a $2,500 bond and given a no-contact order for her children. She faces up to 25 years in jail if she's found guilty. Now, it'd be one thing if the whole house was in disarray, but she was taking care of herself pretty well. Just the children sleeping next to piles of feces on dirty mattresses. Second story we have for you today. This one comes from San Francisco. I believe that's the home of, Lyft or Uber or whatever. Hop into the back seat when your Uber or Lyft pulls up? Well, if you do, you might be covered in feces. What? New research shows, but there's always these news stories. Grocery shopping carts contain more fecal matter than most bathrooms. Men with hipster beards have more shit in them than a porta potty. Crazy. Well, that's kind of what the research shows here. New research shows back seats of rideshare vehicles are germier, which I don't even know if that's a real word. Germier? They have more germs than a toilet seat and perhaps more dangerous than sitting up front. That's according to a study by insurance company NetQuote, which says the average rideshare vehicle has about 219 times as many germs as the average taxi, which is cleaned regularly. That's, of course, because, these rideshare cars, they don't have any sort of regulations when it comes to cleaning. There's no standard, because technically it's just a personal vehicle. By the way, have you ever taken an actual taxi? They're fucking filthy and they stink. But because they are sometimes washed and clean, they're still technically cleaner than rideshare vehicles. Analysts say rideshare vehicles are also nearly 3 times dirtier than the average toothbrush holder, and more than 35,000 times germier than the average toilet seat. Bullshit. The study found that most germs on rideshare... Also, you know what? I think a lot of people who take rideshares, they take them when they go out drinking, right? And at the end of the night, they grab an Uber and go home. There's probably a lot of people who shit themselves, puke because they're sick. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why... an Uber car would have 35,000 times more germs than a toilet seat. In terms of safety, backseat passengers are often killed in head-on collisions. Wow, the news just gets better. Hey, guess what? You're sitting in shit and you're probably going to die. Then does it really matter that the seats are so filthy if you're just going to end up in a head-on collision anyway? Yes, passengers are often killed in head-on collisions in which front seat passengers survive. That's according to a recent study by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. This is due largely in part to a lack of safety advancements in the back seat, such as seat belts. And a lot of people don't wear seatbelts in the back seat anyway, so at least buckle up back there. All right, final story we have for you today. This one comes from my state of Ohio. This one's from Vinton County, which is, I think, one of the more rural counties. A woman was arrested and charged with burglary after sheriff's officials say she broke into a home in Hamden, Ohio, Monday. Why is this a Distorted View news story? Well, officials with the Vinton County Sheriff's Office said at around 9 a.m., which is a weird time for a break-in. You would think most break-ins happen in the middle of the night or maybe in the middle of the day when people are at work, but 9 a.m. is still pretty early. Anyway, I love that I'm trying to inject some fucking reasoning behind this crazy crack addicts' actions. All right, officials with the Vinton County Sheriff's Office said around 9 a.m., deputies arrived and spoke with a resident who said a woman broke into her house and began acting bizarrely. The victim said she entered through the back door, sat down on the couch, and then began to pet the family dog. Then she washed all the dishes and left the house. She didn't steal anything, and she did some chores. Why exactly were you calling the cops? I would put her on the payroll. I'd give her a key to the house. Come on in whenever you want. All right, as deputies spoke with the victim, sheriff's officials received a call that a woman matching the description of the burglar, again, she's not a burglar. She didn't steal anything. If anything, I think she's owed money. Anyways, a woman matching the description of the burglar was knocking on doors in the area of Omar Street in Hamden. Sheriff's officials said Cheyenne Ewing gave deputies a false name and appeared to be under the influence of narcotics. No! She advised that she had been up for 2 days.
One more hit, no time to waste, oh, meth. Oh, meth.
You know, I just feel like there's got to be a way we can harness the power of meth. Take away all the bad parts, you know, the not sleeping for a week, the crumbling teeth, etc., etc., and just isolate the parts of meth that get you hyper-focused and able to accomplish incredibly demanding tasks. Or mundane. I mean, no one likes to do the dishes. This woman did them all. I mean, I don't know how well she did the dishes. She may have used her tongue to clean them, but she tried. Come on. She tried. That, my friends, is your Distorted News for Friday. Let's do a couple voicemails and get the hell out of here. Well, we find ourselves at the end of another week, and I just want to remind you guys, I'd love to hear from you. You can always email me, show@distortedview.com. If this weekend you run across a funny news story or piece of audio or video, send it along to me. Again, show@distortedview.com. Our voicemail line, if you want to talk to me directly or talk at me, since we can't really hold a conversation, although I do a pretty good job, I think, of trying to communicate with you. Like, I talk to my voicemails. And I'm asking you questions as if you're able to hear me. But yeah, call into the voicemail line 206-666-4463, and of course I'm all over social media at Distorted View on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook.com/Distorted View Show. All right, let's check in with a few freaks. First up, a patron. I know who this is going to be. It's always Level Lady Cat Lady.
You're now official project planning lady. So apparently I'm a day late, but some of us contributed and got your mom a Mother's Day gift.
What?
But it won't get there.
I didn't even get my mom a Mother's Day gift. I'm taking your gift and I'm scratching your name off, and I'm going to put my name on it. I'm sorry.
On Monday, unfortunately.
That's okay.
But if you want, you can take it and use it as your own gift.
Oh, so, that's exactly what I was going to do.
Or you could do...
No, of course I will give you credit. Oh my God, my mom is already in love with you for the gift card that you got her.
The right thing and say that your freaks gave it to her. Either way, we won't know.
That's true.
So, whatever you want to choose, but...
Listen, you need to save your money for the next great calamity in your life. Like, I appreciate you being a Sideshow member and being a patron and sending me all these wonderful gifts. And please, don't let anything I say stop you from continuing to do that. But, I got to make it seem like this is all too much, and I can't accept any more gifts from you. When I can accept many more gifts from you. But seriously, there's so much that could go wrong in your life, and so much that has already. You've got to save up for your next, I don't know, jaw replacement, or whatever. Someone calls in pretending to be Lovely Lady Cat Lady, and their limbs are falling off, which is a possibility with her. Like, who knows? I just want to make sure you're covered financially, because I can't take care of you. You know that. All right, but thank you very much, Lovely Lady Cat Lady, for whatever it is you're sending me.
Hey, Timmy Boo, this is Sideshow member DD Megadoodoo calling. I have been a freeloader for years and years and years, and just recently signed up for the Sideshow.
Oh! I'm giving you an applause.
And I'm really glad I did, and I'm calling to let everybody know, if you are a freeloader, sign up for the sideshow. It is fantastic. I've been going through some of the back stuff and can't believe I was missing so much the entire time. So
I mean, you're missing, I don't know. I'm not good with math, but 2 shows out of 5 every week.
Oh, and tell everybody, give Timmy Boo money and be part of the sideshow. It's fantastic, and I'm sorry I waited so long. But I'm an honest-to-God freak now. Thank you, Timmy
look,
Boo.
I always tell you, let's rectify that situation. Sign up for the sideshow, become a true and honorable freak. And this guy signed up and became a true and honorable freak, and he's so happy he did.
True. Sideshow member TJ from Chicago.
Another longtime
I'm calling
freak.
in today because I noticed that, like, at least once a week, usually more than once a week, you go on this rant, you go on some sort of rant about something that Lord Douche has done or is in the process of
because my life is miserable, and I got to get it all out.
doing. And I just have to ask, like, are you okay?
No!
Like, I know you have...
I'm living in misery!
Anxiety. Like, I have anxiety, too. That's part of why I'm reaching out. Like...
I'm not suicidal.
Sounds like your relationship is a giant clusterfuck, and I hope it's not, like, causing you undue stress, because, like, you know, when you give all these rants, it's like, oh my God, like, it doesn't sound like there's
I bottle a lot of it up, right? And then eventually something's got to come out.
Positive happening there, so I hope that
there's a lot of positive things in my life.
What they seem like on the show, and that you're just
Timmy Boo is very pause.
The crazy shit to the freaks, because I don't know. Every time I hear it, it's like, oh my God, like how?
Most people are happy because they like to hear me complain and be
how are you
sad
like
and
this?
Angry.
Yeah, that's basically it.
This guy's actually concerned.
Dude,
this guy's a true friend.
I only hope that everything between you and Lord Douche is good.
Yes, everything is
but yeah,
fine.
I still felt like I wanted to reach out. So
one of the hey, if any of you guys have an old computer, like an old IBM computer with one of those big floppy drives, the 5 1/4 inch drives, and would be willing to send it to me, I'll pay for shipping or whatever. But the reason why I bring this up is because my mom saved a big stack of my floppy disks from when I was a teenager, and some of those disks might contain journal entries because I kept a journal on the computer. It was basically like, a teenage girl writing in her diary, but I did it on the computer. And I was pretty good about writing every day or every 2 days or something. And this was my high school days. So I'm almost positive there's lots of sadness and angst contained within. I would love to read to you some of those entries. So again, if anyone has an old computer, get in contact with me. They sell those like external floppy drives, but it's for like the 3 1/4. The hard, the smaller ones. I need the computer with the big floppy drive, and they don't make external versions of that. It's just internal drives, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I would love to read some of those entries to you. Maybe, I don't know. It might end up being really cringy for me, sad, embarrassing. All right, that is all the time we have on this edition of the show. I want you guys to email me, show@distortedview.com. Distortedview.com is our official website. Voicemail line for you, 206-666-4463. That's 206-660. God is in Hookin'.
The Muslims.
Spread the distortion. STD, tell all your friends about the podcast. Don't forget to rate us and review us on iTunes. Guys, thank you so much for a great week of programs. I will be back on Monday to do it all over again. Until then, I leave you with a little more from Brandon's mom.
And I always hung out after school. After school, we always ran around by the pool. Around by the pool. Then your mom would take out her baseball bat. Baseball bat. Screaming, "You better slow down, you fucking brats." And then she beat your crying face right in front of me. Someday your mom will go out on a killing spree. Brendan's mom is blowing out her lungs. She's all stressed out, screaming at her son. Brendan, can't you see she will kill your family? I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Brendan's mom. Brendan's mom is blowing out her lungs. Brendan's mom is blowing out her lungs. Brendan, do you remember when we flooded your house? Flooded your house. Your mother pulled your hair and choked you out. Choked you out. It's ironic that she is a licensed therapist. She doesn't care about feelings, only the fist. Only the fist. And I know she likes to keep the kitchen clean. And if it's not spotless, she will beat you till you bleed. Brendan's mom is blowing out her lungs. She's all stressed out, screaming at her son. Brendan, can't you see she will kill your family? I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Brendan's mom.
Fucking clean! Fucking dirty all the time!
Can you put the fucking bathroom? Say something! One keep opening these doors every day I come home. I open the windows and turn on the fan.
That bitch a lozenge or something.
Brendan's mom is blowing out her lungs. She's all stressed out, screaming at her son. Brendan, can't you see she will kill your family? I know it might be wrong. I'm in love with Brendan's mom. Oh, I'm in love with Brendan's mom. Oh, wait a minute. Brendan, can't you see she will kill your family? I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Brendan's mom.